My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I've just finished a tape on my identity being stolen. I was kidnapped, brought to this country, to Moulton, Alabama in 41, and given the name of a deceased twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers. Both twins were deceased, and they were murdered by their mother, Lina Dempsey. They were born out of wedlock. I grew up being told that was my name. But I just finished tapes, and I meant to show some more pictures in some of the mind control murders, but I think everybody, I can't believe that people are being so gullible, and pardon me, but that's it. About the Sandy Hook shooting, the Tucson, Arizona, and the Debbie Gifford, and Aurora, Colorado, the Columbine. You can keep going back a little bit, but you go back to the Wayne Williams, and then there's been just average people murdered, and movie stars and people in other countries. But I've already put that up, and I don't even know if anybody is viewing the videos, and quite frankly, somebody else that I doubt their integrity gave me this phone and programmed it, so I don't know if this is even getting out. So anyway, when I was doing the medical malpractice book in Atlanta, in Marietta, Georgia, I was living in Moonraker, and I speak of patterns that the mind control murders, were done in. When I was doing the book, I did not know about my name being Margaret Ann Windsor, my father being King Edward VIII. Although it was odd in the book, when I look back and can think back to it, I had put a couple of pages in there out of the blue about the Duke of Windsor. King Edward VIII was supposed to have abdicated and married Wallis Simpson. And I look back and I think, well, and then I find out in 83 that that's my name, Margaret Ann Windsor. And my father's King Edward VIII, married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, an American. And Wallis Simpson is an American spy and married a double, an imposter. And this was all carried out. It's never been, I have lived a hell of a life. My father and mother never got to bring me home. My sons have paid also for a crime this country committed, and part of the Windsor and part of my family. Elizabeth and her father, George, the illegal George VI. Isn't it odd how you can take down one man, my father, who was a great man, an honorable man, and then if the story's told of what was done to me here and to my sons, and make us look bad, and make a killer, a traitor who sold out his country, who took down his own brother helped with lies, kidnapped his own brother's daughter, the legitimate heir to the crown, me, Victoria II, and continue it. I think this just went off. No, it's still going. Anyway, I'm going to make this short. I put all this on there. I want to say I got a letter, 77, 78. I was living at Moonraker, and I had no idea about my identity. I was just doing the book about medical malpractice and my use of mind control. And I'm giving this as just a background. They were really the only really nice apartments I've ever lived in. And that was just for a year. But they had been owned by Penthouse Magazine. And then at the time I lived there, they were owned by the Mormon Church out of Utah. And then later, during the political campaign, I'm flown out to Larry Flint's, who he had been shot while I was doing the book. I'm in Marietta, Georgia, and he's shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And his attorney was killed. Well, the person that shot him was programmed to do so, and it was done in patterns. So I was flown up there in August of '83 when Larry McDonald, Dr. Congressman from Atlanta, the plane was shot down by the Soviet jet. It was a KAL-007. So they all perished in the ocean, and I became a candidate, pauper candidate, they call me. And I started finding out my name and my kidnapping. So I had gotten a letter from the U.S. Attorney, William Harper, and it was dated June the 23rd. That's my father's birthday. Of course, the year's different, obviously. It was issued in '79. And one of the last times that I spoke with the FBI agent was I had gone to trying to get away from the harassment and downright killing us, the things being done to me and my sons, Mark and Scott. My ex-husband had come back, and I had explained this to the people at the office where I live. The lease and the security deposit were in my name, and come to find out, after I'd gotten a letter from the FBI, and I was in and out of their office so many times, but I found out that the very people at Laurelwood Apartments on Bentley Road in Marietta, where I moved to from Moonraker, that she actually told me, the manager, that her uncle had been the lead investigator on the Patty Hearst. So you're getting into kidnappings, and the Hearst is my understanding, and I totally believe it. The Hearsts were in on my kidnapping. I think, my God, who are all these people that just wanted power to take down my father and to kidnap me? But anyway, this manager told, in the same time as when I got the letter just prior to that, from the FBI or the U.S. Attorney. And I thought it was all because of the book I was writing. I didn't know my real name or any of this. So it was about the 8th of March. I tried to go to Abilene, Texas, and I had made arrangements and double-checked before I went out there. I was going to try to relocate out there, and my husband or ex-husband's sister was going to let me live with her and her husband and help me find a job. And if I got a job, I was going to bring my sons out there in hopes that we would get away from all the hell. I was being blamed for everything because I had done the book, okay? And come to find out, it's my name, my being kidnapped and other people's crimes that were committed against me, and the fact that they never meant for me to go home. So when I got to Dallas, Texas, I called Laura, and suddenly, from a day before, when I had double-checked with her when I started to leave, she tells me I no longer am welcome in her home. So I had just a little bit of money to turn around and go back to Atlanta. And when I got there, or to Marietta, my husband or ex-husband they had allowed him to do it. And if you remember what I've said, the manager made the statement that her uncle had been the lead investigator in the Patty Hearst kidnapping. Now then, I got a letter from the FBI, an ongoing investigation, national security involved. Although I thought it was the book, I now know it was my kidnapping and my real name. My point being, when I got back, the manager, knowing full well that the lease was in my name, security deposit, I had no way to relinquished it or anything. When I got back, they had allowed my ex-husband to move my furniture into another apartment there, the same complex, and it was up about just a little bit up, a few complexes up. It's still Laurelwood, and it was wooded, though, a little bit wooded around back. And it was an older unit, I think. But anyway, my point is that when I got back, I had no key. They had allowed my ex-husband, who I had explained